if I give you a short glimpse
मैं
of,
बताऊं?
yes, Umar, go ahead.
Bad debt is an expense that a business incurs once the repayment of credit previously extended to a customer is estimated to be uncollectible.
Yes, uncollectible, and there is another answer by Shahir Azam. Shahir is saying unrecoverable debts, irrecoverable debts, we can say that. So debts which cannot be recovered, that are called bad debts. If we talk about bad debts, those customers who have purchased from us in the past, and after purchasing us from us in the past, they do not pay in the due time period. Let's suppose they were required to pay on 10th of December. Let's take an example of on 2020. So they did not pay us on 10th of December. What happened after some time? We started getting a feeling, we started realizing this thing, that as the time is passing on, there is a big chance that this particular customer will not be paying us in the future. So when after some time, maybe on 10th of December, he agreed to pay me, and on 10th of January, I again followed up, and again there was a problem. There was something as an excuse given to me. Maybe the debtor, maybe the customer left the country, maybe the customer became bankrupt, maybe the customer cannot pay me at that particular time. So what happened? I have to leave the customer, or I have to make the adjustments according to that, that the amount will not be collectible, amount will not be collected from the customer after some time. So that amount is called bad debts. Bad debts, obviously it cannot happen in, or what we can say, in cash sales. The reason why it cannot happen in cash sales is that we have recorded cash and we have received cash. It only happens in credit sales where the customer has not paid us still. So that's why we record bad debts. Bad debts, the common words which are used for bad debts is written off, write off. These type of terminologies will be there in the question, and you will be observing this. And if you observe these type of terminologies, what you will do, you will submit the entry. You will pass the entry of bad debts. The entry for bad debts is there in your Google Classroom. Bad debts videos are there in your Google Classroom. Everything has been posted. Then we moved on to understand provision for doubtful debts. Can anyone tell me what is provision for doubtful debts? What's the difference between both of them? Yes, what's the difference between provision for doubtful debts and bad debts? Can anyone explain it? Yes, allowance. Yes, Shahir. I'm asking the same. Or what is a provision for doubtful debt? If I ask you to explain what is a provision for doubtful debt, can anyone explain that? Okay, let me explain it. Provision for doubtful debt is a provision or is an estimation that this particular debtor or these debtors, these customers will not pay us in the future. If I talk about that, there are several customers who were expected to pay us on 5th of January. Let's suppose by today they did not pay us. Maybe they said that we will be paying you on 10th of January or maybe on 15th of January. What happened? I started getting a feeling that these customers will not be paying me on time, or maybe they might default, or they might not pay me in the future again. So I started recording a provision for doubtful debt, and a percentage is calculated or given by the company according to the rules and regulations of the company. Every company would have different percentage. Every company would have a different scale on which that company would be writing provision for doubtful debt. Don't you worry, you will be given a percentage in the question, so you don't need to be confused about the percentage. That will always be there in the question. My recommendation is to you people is that you start revising your term 1 examination. You start revising your bad debts for term 2. That everything is posted on GCR, and then you can have a follow-up on Google Classroom and on WhatsApp about the questions. If you are facing any difficulty, as soon as I get time, I will reply to you. So let's come to the next topic. That is the new topic of today's class. Today's class will be making a base of the topic. The reason why I will not be going into the deep layers of this topic, the reason is that because this topic is very much important. Yes, Umair, winter vacation work, you have to do it. You have to complete it and submit it to me. So if I talk about this topic, so this topic, a theory part is very much important. That's why I have made a cover page of depreciation. I will be giving you theory in verbal. Okay? Verbally the theory will be explainable so that you people can get it now, and you people can understand what are the concepts behind that. Depreciation is very much important. If you people understand the theoretical part of depreciation, then you can better solve this question, otherwise you will be lost in the question. What is depreciation? If I go on explaining this term depreciation, so the term depreciation means the loss in the value of an asset. What is it? The loss in the value of an asset. That is called depreciation. If I talk about depreciation, it is the loss in the value of an asset. Let's ask you a question. If you people buy a certain cell phone today and you sell that cell phone after 5 months, do you think that cell phone will be sold for that particular amount for which you bought 5 months back? Yes or no? I need responses.
Sir, can you repeat?
The question is that if you bought a cell phone today and you will be selling that cell phone after 5 months, so can you expect that cell phone to be sold on the same price for which you bought it 5 months back?
No.
No, we cannot do that. So that's the problem. Depreciation concept is there. Depreciation concept is saying that you cannot go for this activity, you cannot go or you cannot expect this thing. So that's why the concept of depreciation is very much important. In accounting, we do have concept of depreciation. It is the loss in the value of an asset. That is the understandable definition. That is the definition which is given to students so that they can better understand. But when we will be writing in the examination, what we will be writing, we will be saying depreciation is the fall in the value of an asset over its estimated useful life.
Sir, like if the currency falls down.
Currency, if we talk about currency, see, Ibrahim, we will not confuse it with the currency. The reason is that because currency devaluation is something else which will be dealt with in economics, because uh, we cannot mix the topics. So far we have to make it separate. So currency depreciation, we can say that, but we will not include it now because that is a part of economics. Here we'll be talking about the depreciation of assets. So we'll be dealing with that. I hope that makes it clear. So let's move on. See, the topic of depreciation, the loss in the value of an asset over its estimated useful life. We got this thing and we understood this thing, that the loss in the value of an asset over its estimated useful life. If I talk about estimated useful life is something in particular. What we can say, estimated useful life is the life which for which the company would be using that particular asset. Let's take an example. On 5th of January 2021, the company bought a new asset. Let's suppose it bought a new machinery into the business. That new machinery would be used by the business, and that new machinery would be used in the production part. That was the purpose of buying that machinery. So what happened after some time, or maybe at the date when that machinery was bought, the company estimated that this machinery would be used for almost 5 years. So if it was bought on 5th January 2021, so it would be used till 2026. 5th January. That was the estimated useful life. That was 5 years. Estimated useful life is always given by the question in your examination. Estimated useful life is always calculated by the company. You do not have to do anything. The company will decide that what is the estimated useful life for that particular product. So the company will decide and the company will tell you. If you are doing a job, you will be given the estimated useful life. If you're not, if you are a student, you will be given that in the question. So if we go through the book in between, so that you people should not feel a problem, you should not face a problem when you are reading on the road. Frankfurt is good enough for theory part, but many of the things are not included over there. So that's why I give you PowerPoint slides from where you can refer to it. Depreciation of tangible fixed asset. Fixed asset was a term which was used earlier. Now we use the term non-current asset. Tangible means any asset which we can feel and which we can touch. That is the tangible asset. So if we talk about non-current asset, that is those resources of the business which will be used for more than 1 year. That was the definition which was taught to you in the start of accounting. So accounting definition was those assets which will be used by the business for more than 1 year. That was non-current asset. So non-current assets are depreciated. Non-current assets are depreciated. Why? Because of certain factors. If I talk about the certain factors, these are the causes. These causes come in your MCQs in in accounting, and these causes of depreciation come in your examination in your accounting part. It sometimes come as MCQs and sometimes it comes as paper 2 as a part of the question. Maybe the examiner is thinking that the students have learned how to calculate depreciation, but they don't know what is depreciation, or they don't know why it happens in your business, why it happens in your question. So that's why they ask you to write these causes at the end of the question. Sometimes there is a theoretical part in the examination after the question. So you need to be aware of this fact that there are double marks for this. One is in paper 2 and one is in paper 1. So you need to prepare accordingly. So, okay, causes of depreciation, physical deterioration. If we talk about that, we have wear and tear. Motorcycle or machineries, they are also used and eventually wear and tear, and they have some problems after some time. They get some rust and these things. That is the second point. Then we have economic factors. Economic factors, we have obsolescence. Obsolescence means that it becomes up to date. That is the major problem in our technological advancements. We have laptops, we have cell phones, we have a lot of devices. So that's why in those devices, what we do in those devices, we can we the products become obsolete, and because of the products becoming obsolete, they become depreciated. Then we have time. Time is needed for wear and tear, erosion, and for obsolescence and inadequacy. Time, with the passage of time, the value of the product decreases. Depletion means when the natural resources exhausted. Any oil, any well which was giving to you oil, that has now exhausted, that cannot be used for the oil uh, digging. So we can say that it is depletion of the natural resource. Provision for depreciation as an allocation of cost, that is not your cup of tea. You don't need to read that. Methods of calculation of depreciation. There are three methods in the question. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, so methods of calculation of depreciation, there are three types of methods. One is a straight line, another is reducing balance, and third is revaluation method. अच्छा, first method के अंदर what we do, straight line method के अंदर what we do, we calculate the depreciation and it is assumed or it is calculated evenly. Evenly का क्या मतलब है, that every year the same amount of depreciation is calculated. अगर एक साल the depreciation of the asset is 4000, तो नेक्स्ट ईयर भी 4 होगी, थर्ड ईयर भी 4 होगी और फिफ्थ ईयर भी 4000 ही होगी. ठीक है, सो वी नीड टू कैलकुलेट इट अकॉर्डिंगली. Reducing balance method, second method है. In that method is applicable on those products जो कि technological advancement वाली products होती है, like cell phones, like laptops, like machines जिनके अंदर new features आ जाते हैं. We calculate depreciation using reducing balance method with the help of for those products who are technologically advanced. The reason for that is जो प्रोडक्ट्स टेक्नोलॉजिकली एडवांस होते हैं उन पे ज्यादा डेप्रिसिएशन चार्ज होती है इन रिड्यूसिंग बैलेंस मेथड in earlier years in comparison to the later on years. क्यों? Because they become obsolete after some time. Sir, depreciation charge करने का मकसद क्या होता है? That is a question which is asked from me in every class. So let me tell you the मकसद for that, because we are getting some benefit in terms of sales. जब machines produce करती है तभी तो sales होती है. So when sales are being done, so we have to pay some cost of the machinery. जब machine की cost reduce होती है तो what we do, we calculate depreciation. जितना हमने use किया है, जितना हमने benefit receive किया from the machine, we calculate the same cost of that machine. Okay, are you clear? Everyone is clear till now? We calculate the same cost of the machine. Sorry, I got disconnected in between. So let's continue with that. A straight line method, we calculate the depreciation purpose for calculating depreciation is that we receive some benefit from using the machinery, we charge the cost as depreciation. कुछ कॉस्ट होती है ना उस मशीन को यूज करने की, उस कॉस्ट को हम डेप्रिसिएशन कंसीडर करते हैं. बिकॉज एज द टाइम पासेस ऑन, लेट्स सपोज आफ्टर 5 years वो मशीन जो 20,000 की परचेज की थी वो सेल होगी मे बी 4,000. तो जो इतना लॉस होगा इफ यू रिकॉर्ड इट देन एंड देन इन द लास्ट ईयर व्हाट विल हैपन, इनकम स्टेटमेंट से बहुत बड़ा लॉस होगा. तो वी हैव मेड अ मेथड जिसमें हम बताएंगे, जिसमें वी डिफाइन इट एज we have used the machineries for 4 to 5 years. 4 से 5 साल स्टार्ट हुई यूज हुई है मशीनरी. सो फॉर 4 to 5 years we have depreciated the machinery with the equal amounts, that is in straight line method, क्योंकि हमने इसको मशीन को इक्वली यूज किया है. यस उमेर?
सर तो डेप्रिसिएशन का मतलब ये हो गया द वैल्यू लॉस्ट इन आवर एसेट.
यस,
है ना?
देखिए लॉस तो वैल्यू तब होगी ना व्हेन यू विल बी सेलिंग दैट एसेट, लेकिन वो वैल्यू लॉस तब होगी जब आप सेल करेंगे. सो वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट अ वैल्यू व्हिच इज ईयरली. हर साल कितना यूज कर रहे हैं हम एसेट को, उस हिसाब से विल कैलकुलेट इट विद द हेल्प ऑफ अ फार्मूला. ठीक है. अच्छा, स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड के अंदर कॉस्ट दैट इज गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन हमेशा आपको गिवन होगी. एस्टिमेटेड डिस्पोजल वैल्यू और स्क्रैप वैल्यू बोलते हैं या रेजिडुअल वैल्यू बोलते हैं. ठीक है. Number of expected years of use, that is how many years the company will be using this asset. You will get the answer, you will divide it, you will get the each year's depreciation and you will get the estimated. अच्छा, estimated expected years of use का मतलब है कितने साल हमने इसको depreciate करना है. इसका मतलब ये है. क्यों? Because these will be the years for which the company will be using this asset. So let's come to the question. A Gill purchased a notebook PC for 2,600. It has an estimated life of 4 years and a scrap value of 200. मतलब ये scrap value का मतलब है after 4 years it will be sold for 200. She is not certain whether she should use the straight line method or the reducing balance basis for the purpose of calculating depreciation on the computer. You are required to calculate the depreciation to the nearest pound using both methods. If the question is saying pound, ignore this. You will be calculating it dollars. Check showing clearly the balance remaining in the computer account. Let's make this question work. Okay, I hope you people can see it. The cost of the asset is 2600. Okay, cost is here $2600. Yes, it is an expense, Shahir. And the estimated useful life is 4 years. And the scrap value is 200. I hope the question is complete over here. These are the details. What was the formula? The formula was,
Sir, what is meant by the scrap value?
scrap value means the value which will be received when we sell the asset at the end of the estimated useful life. सही है? I hope you got that. The formula is cost, that is 2600, minus scrap value, that is 200. Okay, we make it in a bracket so that I can get an answer at the end, divided by estimated useful life, that was 4 years. I got a yearly depreciation of 600. 600 is year 1 depreciation. Year 2 depreciation will be 600. Why? Because it is straight line method. Straight line method ke andar we will have the same depreciation every year. 600 in the third year, and year 4 it will be 600. As you can see that after 4 years, the total amount of depreciation charge will be 2400. 2600 minus 2400, what is remaining? That is 200. That is the scrap value, the value for which it will be sold in the market. सर ये स्क्रैप वैल्यू माइनस क्यों करते हैं हम लोग कॉस्ट से? इसलिए माइनस करते हैं बिकॉज वी डू नॉट नीड टू इंक्लूड स्क्रैप वैल्यू इन दी डेप्रिसिएशन, क्योंकि स्क्रैप वैल्यू तो हमें मिलनी है ना. दैट इज नॉट अ लॉस फॉर द बिजनेस. ये वैल्यू का लॉस नहीं है स्क्रैप वैल्यू. स्क्रैप वैल्यू मींस दिस विल बी रिसीव्ड बाय द बिजनेस एट द एंड ऑफ द 4th ईयर और मे बी 5th ईयर या 6th ईयर, जब भी एस्टिमेटेड यूजफुल लाइफ एंड होगी. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी डिडक्ट इट. हम इसको एक्सक्लूड करके फिर डेप्रिशिएट करते हैं ताकि we can have a better effect of those that quantity, that cost which is to be depreciated. Okay, if I ask you people to do 26.2, 3 and 4, it would take hardly 5 minutes, hardly, not more than that. Only calculate straight line method, only that.
What is the formula?
Formula is written in the book. If I show you again, sorry, this was the formula. Cost minus estimated disposal value or estimated useful life. Sorry, cost minus scrap value divided by estimated useful life. That is the formula. Cost minus scrap value divided by estimated useful life. That is the formula.
Sir, अभी करना है?
You need to do, if you want to do it now, you can do it now, but you have to submit in the next class by tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so let me repeat the questions again. The questions which are given to you in homework, you have to calculate only straight line method, not anything else. We are done with 26.1. 26.2 is your homework, 3 and 4. These 3 questions you have to go for only straight line. यहाँ पे दो given है. They are asking for reducing balance too. We did not do that. So only calculate straight line method. I will be creating an assignment on Google Classroom. So you people complete that, and we'll meet in the next class with further developments in this chapter. Any questions in the end?
No.
So we have this much people with us, 15, but attendance was good by today, but still we need to improve it. Okay, so let's end the class and then we will meet inshallah in the next class. Allah Hafiz everyone.